Good afternoon, or I guess good evening, guys. It's 8 o'clock here. I'm David Meyer. I'm one of the admins of the forum. Just waiting for a few other people. Looks like we've got a few other people here. I see David Williams. He looks frozen. And then looks like Will. Will, are you there?
Can you hear me now, David?
I can. Hey, Will, how you doing?
What's up, brother, man? Yeah, I was having some technical difficulties, or I guess technical difficulties, if you will, with my headset. So are you able to understand me pretty?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. I see Dave looks kind of frozen up there. He's joined us as well, Dave Williams. And yeah, he's looking kind of frozen. I was just saying that he is watching us and judging us.
Nice.
Hopefully he'll get his end solved right away. So what do you got for us there, Will? What are you showing off? I see a beautiful, beautiful Nova there.
So yeah, basically we'll just throw it off with kick it off with the engine shot. I got obviously a 383 stroker from Jegs. It's a blueprint motor putting out 475 horses. That's not the original intake that came with it, although it did come with a dual plane high-rise intake, aluminum heads, aluminum Edelbrock water pump. Everything's still mechanical. I got the mechanical fuel pump on it because I'm not running anything special, just a 7 to 10, for the gas and everything as far as fuel pressure goes.
Yeah.
As we were discussing earlier, but yeah, man, just pulled the hood off the car and stuck her on top so I can show everybody what we got going on with the engine and all. Running a triple core aluminum radiator with the nice little chrome radiator cover on it. MSD ignition with the coal and everything set back there in the back. This is the one that actually you have all the adjustments to it as well. You got the two-step on it. You got the rev limiter. And then the coil puts out 50,000 volts.
Oh, yeah.
It's like right up under, let me see, right there. I'm not sure if you can see that or not.
Yep.
But that's where it has all the nice little, you take those little rubber caps off and then you can do the adjustments with the everything as far as the rev limiter goes, and it's in increments of 100. And then you also have 50s, I believe, on the two-step. So I haven't really done anything as far as the two-step yet, but I played with it a little bit as far as setting it out to 1,000, 2,000, but it pushes through the brakes, believe it or not, pretty easily. So it's actually pretty funny. But like I was saying earlier, also I got the CPP master cylinder and all the brake booster and all that stuff there, along with the line lock, solenoid, and everything for that. And then let's see what else. Electric fan setup. I know a lot of people. See if I can get a better view on this with that light. Sorry about the light here. Two old school horns right there. But the view of the that shroud. Everybody always talks about this, but you want to try to get as much of that shroud covered on that radiator as possible, so that way you can get the ultimate amount of air pulling through there from that fan. Because if you don't have a good shroud, your fan's going to be basically useless whenever it comes to electric fans. I think that's something we all learned over time and everything pretty quick. But yeah, just normal little 383 stroker. She's a feisty little thing, I'll tell you that much. Let's see what else we got. The car itself has a transmission of a 700 R4, and I have a B&M shifter in it. And if you'll notice, no door handles. So we got poppers on the car, and then I also have poppers on my keys as well. Interior shot. I got the B&M shifter down there. And then as you can see, my little Brody wheel on the steering wheel, that helps out as far as not using my right arm whenever I'm driving. I can use my left arm and then slap shift it whenever I take it out of overdrive anytime I want to. They built it with a shift kit. And I'm not sure of the gear ratios in the transmission, but being that 700 R4, They told me it was built to 625 horses. And I'll tell you what, man, this thing, that low gear is just like any other 80s model truck, you know, that had that low first gear. And it'll pop your neck pretty easily coming back pretty good. So, but other than that, man, I mean, I've done these seats. I kind of like them. They're okay. I got these from Classic Industries, and they're more of a bucket style seat without any of the like new style bucket stuff going on with them. And then the bench seat was already in the back and everything. Before I got the car, the father-son team that was doing the restore on it and everything, they did that. 255s out back with the blue matching rallies with a set of BFG radials on the 15x7s. And then, of course, you got the front ones are 225, 60, and those are 15s as well. And what I absolutely love about these centers are they actually come with the disc brake and Chevy motor division engraved on the centers. Nice. So I thought that was really neat because it's indicative to what we have on the car. It's a 4-wheel disc brake, like I was telling you earlier. Let me roll around this way. See if I can get a shot of under the car, suspension and everything too. So it's got a Pro Touring setup as far as upper and lower tubular A-arms. Got 2-in-1 coilovers on it. On the back, it's got some extra leaves and everything as far as the back goes. And then with the back, I also have the shackles, the billet shackles. And then I put a new 21-gallon fuel tank in her a few years back. That glares something. But it's got, you can see just under the pumpkin, I've got a 1 1/8 stabilizer arm there also. And then in the front is an 1 7/8 sway bar on the front. So she's actually, I mean, she handles the road quite well, man. Like as far as the suspension goes and everything on it, you see there's another shot of those tubular uppers right there. And
that's a pretty clean setup you got there. That's very nice.
Thanks, brother. Very nice. Close ratio steering box, but it's actually the stock box. So I still have problems. These are the Hooker competition headers. They are, you know, probably what's best for our cars as far as the fitting beside that steering box. A lot of people have problems with that, you know, as far as, you know, fitting that sucker in there without having your headers hit. But every now and then I'll get a little bit, once she's fired up, she'll get a little bit of a bang right there along the side of that. But other than that, everything is great, man. I mean, I love this car. It's got subframe connectors on it. Got a new subframe on it about 4 years ago up front. And then, let's see, yeah, that's pretty 410 posi out back for the gearing. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but yeah, if you got any questions or anything for me, shoot them off, brother.
I was looking there when you quickly mentioned you were showing the fan shroud to your rad. Have you thought about putting a rubber strip along there to make sure no air escapes out the side like that?
You know what? That's a good idea. I haven't thought about that, and you're right. I have about what looks to be about 1/4 of an inch. Let me break out my light here. I brought my freaking.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I noticed Dave is now back and he's now moving. Hey, Dave.
Hey, how's it going?
We had a good screenshot of you just staring at us. We figured you were just watching and judging.
Yeah, I'm just checking out what you guys got going on.
Well, Will's just doing a little talking and a little walkthrough of his car, which is something we might try and do with this new streaming software that you've brought to light, and we've got to thank you for that.
Yeah.
What we'll try and do is maybe get some one-on-one with different users and showcase the cars. And that's what Will's doing right now. And now we're going to pick Will's car apart and as he says, if we have some questions.
Yeah, do it. Far away, man.
I'm in my mobile office right now.
Oh yeah, I see you got the boss with you.
Yeah, I got the TV rest or the TVs on the headrest, you know, and
oh yeah, because kids today are roughing it.
That's perfect, man.
As exciting as this thing goes.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. Well, especially with the TVs in the back, I got that in the truck, so that way when we went on trips and stuff for the kids and all. But Yeah, Dave, that's actually a really good point. That rubber strip, as you can see, I think you can see, I hope you can see that
Yes, we can.
right there. So that's probably, gosh, it's probably just over a quarter inch, to be honest with you. So it's actually probably a significant amount to where I could do it. But I'll be honest with you, since I put the new intake on it, it's the Edelbrock air gap. You see down in there all the little pretty where the tunnels come up and everything. So it's the Edelbrock air gap intake.
You're gonna have to go out this way and make a trip around the block.
8701, but the car stays significantly cooler now than it did before we did the cam swap and everything on it. So this is, let's see, yeah, it's a 7501. So that's the intake that I have on it right now.
Okay.
Air gap. And I didn't want to get all flashy and crazy with the chrome, or I didn't want to get too crazy because I didn't want it to be popping, to where it takes away from the rest of the engine and everything. And I've got with the alternator and then of course the radiator cover and all that stuff, or clamp bracket, it all kind of has a lot of chrome on it in the first place. But
that sure got a lot of bling on it from what I see.
yeah, there's some good stuff on here. I mean, I've been building it for 8 years. I got the car in 2012, and it was kind of funny. I actually let it go for a year or two. I had a Sanrail Subaru turboed rail, sold it or traded it and my car, this Nova here, and to a guy out in Arizona for a bigger sand, like a big 5-seater sand car.
Yeah.
And that was the one that had the big block 468 in it we were talking about. Then whenever I busted my leg right after the Marine Corps, when I ruptured my Achilles, I couldn't shift anymore. So those are 4-speed manual. Had a sequential transmission S4 Mendiola in it. And basically I couldn't shift. So got a hold of the guy and I was like, hey man, still got the Nova? And he's like, as a matter of fact, I do. I've been thinking about selling it. And I was like, well, hang on to it because I still got the sand car. Why don't we trade back? And so we traded back and I got more of it back. And everybody, they always ask, where'd you get that name? Where'd that come from? And all that. And I'll show you real quick. Let me grab my light real quick. And then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because like I mentioned before, a father-son duo did this car, the paint, did a lot of the stuff as far as the interior goes. Well, I've done a lot more since I've gotten it. I've done quite a few things, but really cool part about it is the inside of the cluster is pinstripe custom with Mora on it, and that's what they named the car. It goes all the way around to the other side as well. I don't know how well you can see that.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
But one thing that always trips people out is the tack. Got the original tack inner, and then I got the clock over on the other side over there. And then all my other gauges are down here in front of the shifter. Let me see. It's probably all better if I just open the door. Sorry, trying to work myself and the chair and the phone and everything else. So just bear with me. All right, here we go. So there's a little better shot right there of all the intakes. Excuse all the wiring and everything hanging down from the stereo. But yeah, that's all my, fuel, battery, got the oil pressure, got the temp sensor. And then there's the B&M shifter right there with the line lock button on the top there. And then I got this little center console from, gosh, where did I get that? I think I got it off of Amazon or something. I just typed in like center console with cup holders, typed in the 73, 74 Nova, and then came out and ended up getting this little guy here. It's got a little storage compartment in it, and then 2 cup holders, and then another little baggy deal right there. And it's actually movable, so I can move it around, but it has some stuff on it to where it doesn't slide back and forth, which it makes it pretty nice to where I can kind of have the, cups, drinks, whatever, my phone, wallet, and all that stuff inside right there.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Will. I couldn't help noticing you got some custom like flames on those seat belts.
Yeah, where'd they go? They're blue flames that were on it when I got the car, and I don't know where he got them from, but I actually like them a lot, and I ended up keeping them because, as you can see, there's blue accents all over the car. I got it on the spark plug wire holders and stuff like that, but Yeah, let's see. I'll pull it up right here. And it's actually the
Well, it goes with that pinstriping on your dash. Goes
yeah,
well
it
with
does. It goes really well. And then I did like some blue on the center console there as well. And then, like I say, the pinstriping, it matches it pretty good. Sorry about this glare. Learning as we go, I guess, right?
Well, we can make another video. Say this is just our test run.
There we go. There's a good shot of her.
I really like that artwork around the bezel, and I like that on the license plate. That's a very nice touch. I think that's the first I've seen of any Nova out of any group that's had artwork around the bezel like that. I really like that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I didn't want to take it off or change it or do anything like that. I just wanted to keep it with that blue on there because I thought it was pretty neat, even though it is just a lap belt.
Yeah.
With the horsepower, I'd like to start getting into this car. I'm eventually probably going to have to put some seats in it, or maybe even a crossbar, something when the kids get a little bit older, maybe even do like a half cage or something like that, so I can put some 4-point harnesses in here, because she's going to be putting out numbers pretty soon that can be that can be a little bit more dangerous, you know what I mean? And I got a set of 4-point harnesses right now kind of waiting in the box for. So, but yeah, we just so everybody knows, we were talking about this earlier, and David actually down on the bottom was I kind of brought me and Dave into this earlier, and we were talking about doing this because I actually have a doctor's appointment on the Zoom thing coming up Monday. But what we were talking about doing is doing something to where, here, I'll make the picture prettier. There we go. But what we're talking about doing is doing something to where we can get all of our members and everything together virtually and show off your cars, you know, get on video and sit here and talk about like what all's done to your car, you know, what all you want to do to it, kind of everything all together as far as, you know, what are your plans, what you have done. And this is kind of a virtual thing that we can do to kind of help us get past this time of, you know, us all being stuck inside and everything. And not only just to do that, but it's kind of more like a one-on-one virtual car show, if you will. Dave obviously does a lot of the streaming for the site and everything, and doing it weekly. And then we're thinking maybe we can do this every other week or something along those lines, so that way we can get more members involved, get other people to show their cars off and stuff like that. And then we can also, you know, give Dave a break from doing a lot of his live streams and all, because I know he puts a lot of time and effort into that. So, but yeah, what other questions you got, man? Anything else?
So you guys can hear me still while we're looking at your door right there. How do those doors work? Do you have a door popper hooked up to an alarm or something on those?
Yeah, actually, right here, the I got a little popper. Sorry, wrong one. I have so many daggone clickers. So I got a little popper, and then one and two are driver's side, passenger side, and then these could be trunk poppers right here if they ever go to it. But it has a solenoid inside, and then there's a popper on the car itself, just like in if you guys remember the GTO with Vin Diesel and what was that movie? Triple X, the first one.
Yeah,
it's similar one. Yeah, exactly. So I have a popper like that on the car. On the outside, so that way in case I lock or I shut the doors with the keys inside or something, then I can go ahead and just pop them. The inside is normal as far as the door handles go. They're simply just, you know, same door handle that you generally use. And other than that, it's real simple. They did the kit whenever those before I got the car. They did it, which I kind of like it because it shows off a little bit more of the lines, and you don't have that break in the door where you generally did before with
it's pretty cool.
with the door handle. Yeah, I actually kind of like that a lot. So that's one thing that I enjoyed about, you know, one of the many things I've enjoyed about the car. That's for sure. There's certainly a lot more, but what's kind of funny is everybody keeps, like, I know all the 73 guys love it, that I have 73 bumpers on the 74. And I'll actually take this time now to show everybody my fog lamps that I got on the front. So I did a picture of this for one of our front end Fridays or something like that, or the front end challenge, maybe on Instagram, but I can upload it onto our site as well. But these right here are LED. They're just single lamps. And these suckers are freaking bright. They are ridiculously bright. I got one on either side of the outer edge of that little, what do you call it? Little breather holes, I guess, or vent holes.
I call them bumper nostrils.
There you go, bumper nostrils. Instead of hood louvers, we got bumper nostrils.
Bumper nostrils.
I don't mean to interrupt you there, Will, but I just wanted to say that Tim has now joined us, and he's trying to steal the spotlight there with Grasshopper.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, nice of you to join us.
Well, this is really cool. So I wasn't trying to steal the spotlight, just to see if I was actually being seen.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you are.
What we're doing right now is Will's just doing a walk around of his car, and we were thinking of using this to showcase people's videos or showcase people's cars via videos. So he's just giving us a little walk around his car.
There you go.
Technology. It's pretty freaking amazing.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty incredible the things we can do nowadays with just I'm on my phone. I mean, it literally took me probably 3 minutes or so to download the app, and then after I downloaded the app, I was sitting there talking with Dave and Dave, about we're just kind of throwing up ideas in the air and seeing what we wanted to do, and this is kind of something we were thinking about doing as far as maybe bi-weekly, so that way we can have people join in and showcase their rides via the internet chat or the video chat that we're doing, and then recording it, and then of course putting it on the site later for others to see and stuff like that. Because I mean, snapping a picture and stuff like that, that's one thing, but when you come out here and you take your video and you're like, oh yeah, this, that, and I got that and this, and so it actually does a lot better as far as just snapping a photo and saying, oh, here's my car, check it out. So what you got going on today, Tim?
Oh man, I am getting ready. I am freaking excited. I leave at 6 a.m. to go pick up the Novocaine.
Oh, Novocaine's coming home.
Yes.
Is coming.
That's great news, man. When are you getting it home? When are you going to be having it back home?
Leave at 6 a.m. I'll be back about 14 hours later. So.
Nice. Oh my gosh, that thing's going to be gorgeous.
Buddy decided to bring it halfway. So anyhow, yeah. It's not like I got a lot to do. It'd be nice to be working on the car. So.
Yeah, well, that's true. Let me flip her back around here. The star of the show. Nobody wants to see my ugly mug.
Will, in all the pictures I've seen of your Nova, I've never realized that you are a bumper tucker.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. They did this right before I got the car, and I call this the 3/4 tuck actually, because it actually whenever you lower like trucks and stuff like that, they call it Zing the frame.
Yeah.
So you do like a Z shape on the frame. So what I've realized is on mine, and I'll show you right now. Of course, these are one of the things that only the owner or we will notice to our cars, right? So you obviously see how much space is right there on this side. And then on the driver's side, I have to keep going around because of this pillar. Sorry about that. On the driver's side, it's actually quite significantly more. It's probably a good 3/4 of an inch more lower on the driver's side, which had me going for a while because, as you can see, everything looks kind of like straight up from side to side whenever you go from one side to the other as far as this inner piece right here goes. But what I want to do is I want to take her all the way in and notch out the frame like you're supposed to do on them, like that typical, like you do the Zing of the frame and stuff. So I was wanting to do that so that way I can bring it in a little bit more and not have that noticeable gap there. Kind of drives me crazy whenever I'm looking at it, and I know if I could see it, so can everybody else. But the full tuck brings her all the way up to here. Get rid of all the other chrome pieces in the front, which they're getting a little old and kind of tired, so that wouldn't hurt my feelings any to tuck it in. But like I mentioned to you earlier, got the new bezels and stuff on the sides. So that's what was keeping me a little hesitant about doing the this other the clear corner, or the clear front turn signals, if you will. But it's something I certainly want to do. At first, I really liked the orange, the way it popped out against the blue and everything, or the amber. But I think I'm going to do the clear corner just because it'll match, the fog lights. And then, of course, those are the halogens. There's nothing special about them. I don't have like the halos or any of that stuff. So it's still like that old school look with the, really kind of brownish, light colored, dim look, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Actually, Will, with my headlights, I still have that same halogen color.
Really?
Because classic. I just put a headlight in a grasshopper today. In fact, I even did a how-to. I just need to upload the video because
Nice.
People don't know. There's a spring in there, and you're going to break the headlight ring if you don't undo that spring. But anyhow, hey, I got a question for you, William. On bumper tuck there, can you keep the rubber filler in there, at least on the ends or in the center, and just push the front bumper back?
Well, honest, the whole bumper, if I'm not mistaken, because I didn't do this, but from what I can see, the whole front bumper, it looks like it's the outer front shell. And are these bumpers layered from the factory? Do they actually have like the layering, like another sheet of metal molded into it as well, or is it just that one metal piece right here? Because I don't have it. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Right there should be a rubber or urethane, is what it actually is. That piece that goes in there. On a 74, it's split up into 3 pieces. The center metal, the outside pieces are urethane. And I'm thinking, looking at your car through the video, that you can put at least urethane ends on it and still fit. And if nothing else, trim them back a little if they need it, and it would fit that. I've seen a lot of these bumper tucks, and I'm like, why the hell are they eliminating this instead of either trimming it if you need? I don't understand the elimination of the part. It's and I know you don't have it right now. I've got maybe. Hey, look, David's got one in his hands, I think. Show us, David.
Yeah, I've got it's out of this one. I believe is actually out of a 73, but it's still cold because it's only 30 degrees outside. So I don't want to try and strain it to give it its proper form. I'll have to wait till it heats up a little. But there's your rubber and what goes down the side of the bumper there. That's right here.
Oh yeah, I definitely do not have that on mine right now. It's just whole bumper piece right there, or that metal piece. So
see, I can't see why you cannot add it. Possibly trim it. I mean, it's urethane. It's easy to trim with a pair of scissors or tin. And I've seen most people just eliminate it.
It looks unfinished.
It does give it that unfinished look. I agree. It does. That's one thing that gapping in there, like that gapping, especially on the driver's side, is worse, and it drives me crazy. And that filler would certainly help. I mean, I got some parts in the box from the guy when I got the car, and that wasn't a part. He didn't have any of the stuff from the bumper tuck originally, like the shocks or any of the bracketry or any of that stuff. So, and I've seen on a few cars where this bottom piece, where these holes are down here on the bottom, I've seen where they were double layered. So it might have been that piece you're talking about. Cause I don't know. I don't know if these were originally from the factory with like 2 pieces of bumper. Cause everybody talks about how heavy these bumpers are and everything. And that's why a lot of people do the upgrade to fiberglass bumpers or whatever the case, because they want to lighten up 70 to 100 pounds or whatever they say it is.
Yeah, the fillers that David's got in his hand don't weigh crap. Now, what weighs a lot of on the bumpers especially 74 to 73, because I went through and weighed them, and I honestly don't remember the exact measurements. But I had a 73. I have a 74 car. I'm converting it to 73. And I sold the bumpers, and I weighed everything, and it was like 91 pounds different because of all the substructure metal that was in the bumper. Now, those filler pieces that David has in his hands, hell, they don't weigh a pound, maybe. I mean, but they're a trim piece that would really be the finishing touch, the nth degree to make something look good.
Okay,
go ahead,
like
Dave.
here I've actually got two different ones here. I'm assuming one's a 74 and this one's a 73. The 74 is a little different because it's also a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And you might just need that 74 piece because then you don't have to worry about cutting the, under the headlight, because obviously you don't need that part. You just need the outer edge of the bumper there. So and then there's a metal bracket too there that I guess to help keep it shaped. So I got to find the metal bracket for this one. But these are off of 74.
Okay, yeah, the 73, I'm looking at the grasshopper. See where the seam is right underneath the turn signal?
Yeah, so that's what I've got here is a 73.
Okay, so that's literally the part that goes in here up to about right there.
Yes, on a 73. The 74, David, it's shorter on the 74. Is that?
It looks like it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. The 74 in his right hand to our left is the 74, and it has a metal piece that goes through the center. And
that's in the shed. I can't get that.
Yeah, and that's fine. I actually will have one tomorrow to look at. I've got a 74 and ends, and I think I have a 73 with ends that's will be coming with the Novocaine. I actually got a set from Matthew DeJesus. Now I got to see what he wants to do with them, but I got a set of fillers for front and back.
You know what? These ones here, I have absolutely no use for them. And you know what, Bill? Maybe we'll talk offline, and we'll send these to you, and you can experiment with these.
Awesome.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I think that would make Will's car look perfect.
It would finish it off because it looks unfinished with that gap. That's my own personal opinion. I'm not slaughtering the car, but it looks unfinished.
No, I get it.
But yeah, this one here is a 73. Even looking at mine, it's exactly the same distance in that. And I have the rest of the 73. It's just outside, but I just thought I'd bring the corner in because we were talking about it. So you and I will talk, and we're gonna get you those green pieces.
Perfect.
Good deal.
Or
beautiful car, William.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It certainly we got some time in it. This paint is actually probably just going off of what he was telling me. He said it was about 10 years old when I got the car.
Really?
So it's probably close to 20 years old by now. But I mean, as you can see, it still has a nice little shine on it. You can see the reflection of me in my chair and all.
Yeah.
And it's actually dirty right now, believe it or not. But
the door handles are shaved too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier before you got on. I have poppers on the car on the outside of the car, and then I also have a little clicker on my keychain that pops both the driver's side and the passenger side door. And it's literally
thing you'll want to know about poppers. If you can put a little cable in there in case the battery goes completely dead. When I did mine for my customers, I'd put a little cable in there, and I'd put a little hook on their key ring. That way, if the battery went dead or anything, they could reach in there and grab a little loop and unlock it. And pull it down.
That's a good idea. A lot of times what I'll do is if I'll take it and then I'll just leave the window cracked.
Oh, yeah.
But, I'll show you real quick from the driver's side over to the passenger side. I'm going to get a light shining over there, and maybe you'll be able to see the door pop whenever I hit it. But it's really simple. It just kind of
oh wow, yeah, works good.
And then it clicks up, and then basically all it excuse me, Need to dry some water real quick. But basically all it does is just pop the latch. That way, you know, it just opens it up. And then as you can tell, they did a pretty decent job on it. I mean, it's not, paint's not cracking. I don't see any like, you know, Bondo coming through or anything like that. So it actually worked out pretty well as far as that goes in, you know, in regards to the prep and all that stuff. Because as we all know, paint is all in the prep.
Oh yeah, it looks like they did an awesome job in your car, dude. And the fact that it's not cracking. My Pro Streeter, I sold it. It was over 15 years old, and it was still winning shows. That I'd take it to a new show, and they thought it was a brand new paint job. If the prep is done right, the bodywork's done right, it should last. I mean, it's unreal how long it can last. Garage kept.
I did do something pretty cool here in this California sun. I went and got some of this. It's like that layered
bubble
thermal
wrap
barrier. Yeah, exactly. The metallic, it's like a metallic-y type bubble wrap, I guess you could say. Sure. And I did it all through the top because, to be honest with you, hey, when that sun comes out here in California, man, woo, watch out.
Yeah. What part of California are you from, brother?
I'm actually between LA and San Diego. So literally if you were to pin it, what's that?
I was in San Diego a few weeks ago. I should have hooked up with you.
Oh dang. Yeah, my mother-in-law still lives down there in San Diego actually. That's really cool. Yeah, we we do a lot of stuff down in San Diego still. It's literally about the same amount of drive time back and forth, because we are just east of wine country, Temecula, not the Napa Valley wine country, but we're like the small wine country of California, I guess you can call it. But we're about 30 miles east of Temecula, up in the hills, like up in the Santa Ana mountain range and all that good stuff.
I was down in Coronado, so it
oh yeah, that's a beautiful area down there, you know.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
It really is.
Phil's got it rough in life.
Right. Well, let me tell you, man, it's pretty chilly out right now. I'll come outside and show you all around real quick. But we've got clouds, but out over there is Palomar Mountain, and we actually get snow on that quite often. There's still a little bit of snow on it from the last rains we had the last few days. And this is whenever everybody comes over, they have to do the burnouts and stuff. So Mora actually has the longest burnout, which I tell that to a few of my buddies, and they're like, okay, I'll come back over. But she started out back here, and then I wasn't using the two-step, but I went off the line lock, and I carried her all the way up the hill, and then I had to stop right when I got up in here. That's about where I stopped at right there. Otherwise, I would have been going out to my gate, and I didn't want to do that. So
nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here, man. A little sunset going on. But
poor David's freezing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, I'm laughing at you guys when you're talking about cold and stuff like that. I don't mean to giggle when you're saying
right,
it's like 40s and 50s, and to me, I'd be out in a t-shirt. Guys, I was just outside there.
T-shirt weather.
Yeah, I do have a bumper filler from a 73 here, and that piece is actually like stapled. So I guess this side it kind of broke off, but this would be the 73 one, and it actually looks like there's a lip on it that the chrome actually fit under.
Yes. Yes.
And then I guess once it warms up, I'll have to shape it accordingly again. And while I was outside there, I found that right piece, Will. So I have those full pieces. We'll set you up with those.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. So that way, I mean, I actually, you know what? I'll show, because I'm looking at it right now. I'll be able to bring the bumper to an even point, because it drives me crazy. Because I mean, I've measured, obviously, from, you know, fender well through the center of the tire when they're straight and down to the bottom, and I'm sitting just at 24.5. But up front, you can see there's a bunch of different holes where the guys did the mount. Like they tried to, I don't know if you can see it, but they tried to do like a cut right here and here, like a square cut, but there's a bolt, and then the bolt that goes to the bottom of the bumper lip right there. But see if I can change this setting. This thing's so dang bright.
Well, in all fairness, maybe we should just pull the bumper back out and put it back to its proper piece.
I can be part of the big bumper crew again.
I gotta say, a 74 needs the bumper pushed in. A 73 is perfect.
At least a little bit.
But, you know, the 74 does sit out an extra inch. So I can understand 74 guys wanting to push it in.
Back is actually pretty even all the way down.
Yeah. How does that license plate open with the bumper pulled in like that?
Oh, it works just it works just as normal.
Really?
Let me get on the car. Yeah.
Well, Will, don't hurt yourself for that.
Like that.
Okay.
He's a Marine. He can't hurt himself.
Yeah, cause I saw David's car just a second ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Dave's wanting some attention here. He's showing off that LS there.
Yeah, I pulled the head off, you know, or the hood off anyways, and it's starting to get dark outside, and the clouds don't help anything, so.
Well, let's see that thing again real quick.
Yeah. So this is what I've been building for God knows how long.
Oh, there we go.
I've had the fenders pulled off like 6 or 7 times in the last, I don't know, 3 weeks, and just trying to get everything up to par on it. And
that's quite the rad hose on it.
It's a stock truck or hose from like a 02 to an 05 Avalanche. I mean, it's
wow.
So that's a 5.3. That's a 5.3 you have in there?
Yeah, it's a 5.3 block, but it's actually a 4.8.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, that you're gonna have fun with that, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh yeah, you're gonna have a blast. Yeah. I had an 05 Silverado with the 5.3 in it, and that thing was
good too.
Dude, that thing was ridiculous. What is that?
Ooh, what are you showing?
This is that Holley ECU, the Terminator X setup. This thing is especially for the LS platform, anyways.
Nice.
So, I haven't been able to start the car yet, but hopefully, with any luck, it'll fire off just like they say it will, and I'll be able to drive it here pretty soon. But
oh yeah, you're gonna love that thing, man. I'm telling you. So what are your ideas as far as exhaust go? Do you already have an exhaust on the car now?
I had an exhaust on it, and I sold it to another auto teacher over at a local high school here in town, and he put it on his 72. So he's getting use out of it. I was gonna do like a custom X pipe or something for it.
No, what size pipe? I've got a 2.5-inch dual 40 series Flowmasters on mine, coming out of the headers, and I really wish I would have went 3-inch, to be honest. But yeah. But whenever I put those, I'm gonna do an open pipe or the electric open the solenoid, so that way I can I can hit that switch and just as loud as it can be, you know.
So I have. Let me see if I can get my flashlight to turn on here. I don't know if it'll work. Nope. Flashlight won't turn on, but
looks like a set of pretty headers.
Yeah, you don't need a flashlight. We can see that flashy chrome.
Yeah. Well, while he's doing that, I will give you a secret. I do not tell many people. If you have a 2.5-inch system with Flowmasters, simply weld a 3-inch tailpipe on it or dump. Oh my God, it sounds like a big block. I had that. Yeah, I had on a little small block for years. Everyone would come up to my truck and go, "Oh my God, this sounds like a big block. That thing sounds freaking awesome." And it was simply a 3-inch dump welded right to the muffler. So the outlet was still 2.5, but it acted the expansion chamber, and it gave the deepest, throatiest big block sound you ever heard.
Actually, my exhaust guy suggested that for the Omega when I first put 2.5-inch exhaust on it. Oh no, don't do that, don't do that. And then I found out years later, and I've been kicking myself ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Pro Street truck that I posted, I don't know if you've seen it with all the flames and everything, bumps.
Yes.
Real. That was it. It was a 2.5-inch exhaust, 2.5-inch mufflers with 3-inch tailpipe welded to it, right to the bottom of the Flowmaster.
Now, Dave, I've got to ask you.
Awesome.
Dave, I've got to ask you, when you put your Nova back together, are you tucking the bumpers?
Undecided on that one. I don't know.
Well, yours is a 73, eh?
Yeah, I think it has a 74 subframe on it though, because I put my where the hell's my bumper at? So here's my subframe, but none of the holes on the bracket line up with that thing. None of them.
You have your bumper?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, that's a 73 bumper, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a 73 bumper, right. But none of these holes line up with the subframe at all.
You're actually missing half the bracket.
Yeah, I got it. It's
oh, okay.
Got it. It's around here somewhere.
Good catch, David.
Let's see the end of the frame on the 73 there. Let's see from the front.
And we can go look at an actual 73 and see if there's a difference. Yeah. I've always wondered this because I don't have the 73 and 4 sitting side by side.
Yeah.
24 hours I'll have it, but I don't have it now.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, well, my 74 is made way for another 73 here.
See here. Is there a way for me to change this camera around so I can see it?
So just tap your picture, Tim, okay. And then you'll see, once you tap your picture, you'll see a little camera with the little switch around signal in it. And then tap that camera and it'll flip the image around. Should.
Activate speaker. Come on, man.
Yeah,
not much of an interior in this one, but
I see David. Okay.
Those seats right there.
Let's see.
If anybody has door panels or a connection on them, let me know.
Activate speaker. Select. Let's see here. Different picture.
Dave, post a thing on the Facebook group. Maybe somebody has some door panels they'd sell you cheap.
Yeah, because I don't want to pay the $500 price tag on the PUI ones. Those are pretty pricey.
Yeah,
I was looking at getting some new door panels myself, and then that $500, and then add 30% to it. That's what I pay.
Oh no,
that hurts.
That sucks.
Here is the 73. I can't quite get the camera switched around, but does that?
You know what? I might be able to get the camera on mine here.
I don't have that. I don't have that bracket, that 45-degree angle bracket coming off the subframe towards the corner of the bumper.
Yeah, and it goes just inside of the hole, the vent hole in the front of the bumper. But
yeah, the only hole that lines up on my subframe is.
Here's looking at mine.
Yeah.
And I actually pulled this. I pulled this subframe off of a parts car that was all messed up. So I don't even know if that frame was off the right year on that parts car, anyways.
It could be 68 to 74. They're all identical, except maybe some of those holes. But they're all the same. I mean, the suspension bolt on and everything else is the same. So.
Hey, can you guys see mine?
Yeah, we can see yours.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's the bolt locations, and as you can see, I got a bit of a spacer there because of an accident. They had to pull it in a bit.
Yeah. Well, quit hitting pedestrians.
Oh no, that was from a car.
Oh,
yeah, the second one was a car. The first one was the pedestrian. That was just a hood.
So, I mean, the better question on mine is, are these brackets on right?
And let me show you.
Yes, but you're missing the 45 bracket. The one that goes to the outside, it goes
from these holes
yeah.
over there, right?
I
I have
might have
those brackets.
brackets
I think those brackets are at the school.
You know, it kind of begs the question: do you need those? I mean, it'll shake at idle. It's not obviously it's not going to be.
It was shaking when I had the 350 in there, but
yeah. Well,
I mean, you really need them.
Bumper is shaking. That's pretty bad. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty. That's actually something to brag about right there.
Unfortunately, I can't get to my bumper brackets to show them, but I do have a picture I could post if you need.
No, I think I have some actually. I think they're. Oh no, you know what? I think they're in this. Oh, here they are. I see them right here. I got stuff everywhere. Those are it,
I
right?
still want to find more about LS.
Those are it, right? Yep.
That's sure.
Okay, so y'all remember me talking about my motor, like my pickup dropping out, right?
Ooh,
Part of it right there.
Oh, that's up.
Hey, it looks like you got a problem with the pickup there, Will.
Yeah, it caught the crank, and then there's also I got this little paperweight. Looks like something off of a transformer. and then of course the oil pan baffles, all the welds on the oil pan from the actual baffle that sits in there, it was busted out and bent up too. And it actually, this side don't look too bad, but it's actually this side here that's got all the dings and dents. Sorry, you guys, if you can see them.
Oh yeah.
And man, it did a number to this car. I mean, it had some of the rods were scratched from it hitting the guide valve, and I mean I'm lucky it didn't get all up in there and messed up the pistons or the crank or anything. I was pretty lucky. So I ended up just having to replace the cam, the valve spring, or no, we kept the valve springs. The roller rockers, put Lunati billet 1.5s back in it because they had 1.6s. And with the stroke and everything and the bigger cam, we wanted to go down a little bit more because we didn't want to have any binding in those springs. So we did that, rods, lifters, and it was all Lunati. And it's actually, I got the cam card sitting over there, but it's actually like two, let me get those numbers. I don't want to mess them up, but it's pretty aggressive. It's closest to the highest cam we could have built for the car itself. And I was going to see about firing it off. Let me see. Plug in my light here. So I got some light over here.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Will, but I don't know. I think Dave was trying to get something in there.
Oh no, I was just it's starting to rain, so I covered my stuff back up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dave is the quiet one amongst the group, and he's got the LS, the most potential horsepower in the group.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I gotta say.
Yeah, so we got 597. What's it?
Looks like 603.
That. But we got, let's see, it's 106 at center line for the lobe, and then at duration, it's a flat tappet cam. But it's 243 and 251, and then advertises 295 and 303, and then lift that valve is 597 and 603. So it's quite the
we'll
lumpy
hear a
cam,
video of that
for
thing
sure.
idling.
Yeah, what brand is that, William?
It's Lunati Voodoo.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a Lunati. That's very similar to having the
Lunati Voodoo.
In what I had in the Pro Street truck that I posted the other night, that choppy yeah, nice and choppy.
When I was saying earlier with my LED lights, whenever I got them hooked to the ignition, and you see right there on the side of the garage wall, I got them on a switch as well.
Okay.
So,
Now doing that, Will, you got to be careful because if you got that wire to both your ignition and a switch, you could be backfeeding your ignition if you don't have a diode in there, right?
good. Yes. You can back, just like on the alternator, how you got to do what kit? There's the new kit that requires to have
You
a
gotta
diode.
put a diode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, and I got it running off of a relay, so that helps
Okay.
out a little bit. But yeah, that's one thing is I wanted to make sure we didn't have, and I don't have that problem with anything. I'm able to, obviously, just turn it off and on. But let me see if I can fire her up real quick.
Yeah, I wanted to do something similar with that with my electric fans, but I just got to put a diode in because I don't want to backfeed the ignition and just have it sitting on.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to look at is, and also obviously I know you've probably done this before looking at Shelly's car. She's done it before too. The diode goes one way, and it's marked, so there's no problem there. But let me know how it sounds as far as.
I just heard a teaser there. I hear more of it.
She's cold.
Cold nature. At this point, this is where David's going, my LS just idles perfect.
No, God, I can only hope that this thing idles perfect. I haven't even started the engine yet.
They will. Electronic fuel injection. It doesn't make any more power, but damn, is it reliable and drivable.
That's what I tell people about the Sniper EFI over the 650 carb I used to run. It doesn't make any more power. It just optimizes it.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone thinks they're going to make more power, and I'm like, you don't make.
No,
it's the same horsepower.
Yes, it's efficiency.
It's more efficiency, better gas mileage, easier driving. I've got my old F-bomb tunnel ram, 2 600s on a 283. That's not supposed to happen. Oh yeah, it runs like a beast. It actually outruns the Hellcat, but. If I take it down to, and I'm never going to drive that car in this kind of weather, but if it's, 0 degrees out, it's going to run like, but it starts up in anything I'm going to drive it in, 40 to 100 degrees. It starts and runs fine,
Nice.
But it's not like fuel injection. You got to pump it. You got to baby it. You got to, it's just, you got to know what you're doing. So
well, we'll find out next week and how easy the seasonal startup will be. This has been sitting since the end of September.
There you go.
Uh-oh. There you go.
So now, David, what's your drive season? Like June to September?
Usually I'm able to get out first weekend of April, but we had a little extra rain. It's been a little cooler. And I'm still waiting for it to dry up a little bit. It was pretty much dry 2 weeks ago. And then we had a freak snowstorm roll through with 2 feet of snow. And I'm still waiting.
Damn.
Yeah, and right now today it was 32 degrees, and that's still a little cold. I'm going to wait till next weekend.
What?
Brother, you need to move south. You would love it.
Yeah. Hey, do you know any of the Street Outlaw guys by chance?
The Oklahoma City boys, I don't know as well. They seem nice, but I don't know them well.
During my isolation, I've been rewatching the Street Outlaws from season 1, and it all seems fun. It's like we have street racing up here, but it's nothing like that down there. Like we're a bunch of 12, 13-second cars.
When I left Detroit, that's where I grew up.
Yeah.
We had the street racers were 9-second cars.
Okay.
Fast street cars like 13 seconds. So all of a sudden I'm relegated from like being the slowest, in a 13-second car to the fact like, really? But this is back in the 80s. Nowadays, they race and it's incredible.
I don't mean to break up the story or anything, but no, I wanted to talk to you guys about this real quick because these were topic of discussion for these are what came off my 14s, and I was curious, were these, do you think, are the original rally caps for the 14s? Because the stamping, the rust, the weathering, and all that on the clips itself, everything looks like it's the original Type 1, but what I noticed is they don't have the plastic screw-in receptacles on each of the 5 lugs. So
well, there's 2 type of center caps that go with those rally rims, depending which year there was. I think the later ones had those caps like you have that just snap on versus the center ones that screwed in. But
yeah, they use that little clip there.
yeah.
Yep.
And I believe some were metal and some were plastic too. The plastic ones, I think, were later.
And I got those up top too. I don't know, can y'all see those up there? I got those pop in. Those are the taller centers as opposed to, you know, the thin.
Wow.
Thin right
Oh,
here.
you're talking the Mexican hats.
Right? Exactly.
I have nothing on this. Those were throwaway items when I was in the 80s. I honestly have nothing info on those.
Well, the reason why I ask is because we have a member that is actually, she's trying to get a set for her son's car, Nova. I think his is a 74, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But they were stolen. 2 of them were stolen off of his car, and I have 3. Yeah, there's the Mexican cap, right?
Yeah, these were off Shelley Chevelle before she went to the slots.
Yeah.
Mexican cap. Those are Corvette 4-wheel disc brake caps.
No, not these ones.
These are.
No, not those. The flat ones.
Yeah.
The 4-wheel disc caps. How did those get called Mexican?
These right here are.
No, these are the Mexican ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tim, these are the ones you were talking about right here.
Okay.
Those almost look like an orange juicer, what they look like, you know?
Yeah.
They really do with those ribs on them.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. So,
Go sideways.
a while ago, I redid the subframe bushings on my Nova, and I recently added the 1/2-inch spacer to the front of them.
Yep.
And how do you properly line up the fenders? Because I got repop fenders on the front, and the body line down there does not want to line up with the door.
Mine is the same way.
How do you fix that?
Let me get the light on it.
Short of cutting it off and putting that patch piece.
Okay, guys, I just went through this. The only way to fix that is literally that you can cut. Oh, golly, it's hard to explain. You cut a little pie deal and you fold the fender in. They will not.
Okay.
I literally on the Novocaine, I spent all that money having aftermarket fenders, had them lined up and everything, but the front wouldn't line up. So Pete called me and said, "Hey, this crap's just not lining up." And we went back to my factory fenders. So the only way you can align these things is literally cut, welding, and then body work. You can do a lot with your door gaps, your trunk gaps, and everything with body work. It's just simple as that. They're not going to line up. And, I mean, I spent a lot of money sending the factory fenders. I had to put a rust repair in them to have them because they were better than the aftermarket fenders. So I've got a nice set of aftermarket fenders for sale, by the way. So, they're
Nice.
Yeah, because I noticed mine, I can get them to line up on top, but at the bottom, they're like a 1/4 inch off no matter what I do.
Yeah.
So
You're going to have to body work it, brother.
you're talking about that, and what happens is down at the bottom down there, there's a little tab that they tried to weld, and it actually came apart. The weld cracked, and then I'm gonna have to get back down there and press that back in, and then I'll be able to actually, because you can see, can you guys see it's off by like about a 1/4 inch or so?
Yeah.
Maybe a little less.
Big gap.
And that's what David Williams, that's what you're talking about.
Let me see if I can. Yeah.
Mine are the same way as far as that goes, as far as the having the, doing the spacers and all that. And somebody, actually, I was reading a post today, actually, I can't remember right off, but somebody was talking about it having, you can put a spacer on that front body mount, and that'll actually help bring it back into line and everything. So, yeah, that's something I'll have to look and see if I can find that, David. If I can find that post, I'll tag you on it. I don't know if it's directly about what you're talking about, but it's certainly along those lines, because it was on that body mount right there, right down there, right there.
Yeah, that might actually have been my post, because I posted something about that not too long ago.
Okay.
But yeah, right there, Tim, where your finger's at, that line does not. That's like the fender sits about a 1/4 inch higher than the door line.
Yes. See where my finger is? I don't know if you can see that.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, this is a factory fender, so it's not fair. But right here, you have to do a pie cut. That will allow this fender to be pushed in, and then you re-weld it right here. Okay? And then you have to work this line to finish up to the door line here. Okay? And you just got to work that with filler. And what we did is here, use a paint stick and only use one. Choose a paint stick, mark it so you have it, and you can do all the body lines on the car the same. Okay, now of course this is the Grasshopper, it's not the Novocaine. I can't show you the Novocaine right now, but that's how you end up doing this. I mean, it just takes metal work, body work. None of this crap lines up right. And like I said, I just
that one line you're pointing at, Tim, the one line you're pointing at, actually, it will, like you're saying, it will crack, because mine's cracked from like what you were pointing out earlier.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
why
I
you
was a little bit loud.
cut it with a 4-inch grinder, 2-inch grinder, cut a slot in it, flex that fender in, and then tack weld it back.
Yeah, like David was saying earlier, like the car, is one of those, looks good from 10 feet away, but you can see right there where it's cracked, right on that body line.
Okay.
So that's literally, it could be just from me being out here on these, the dirt roads and doing all the rough riding and all that stuff that I do. But it was actually starting to do that when I first got the car. And quite frankly, I've done more brake and suspension and motor and tranny drivetrain than I've worried about the body. So body will be next.
As the body flexes now, probably.
Yeah.
David, how old's your son?
He's 6.5.
Nice.
What are you doing?
Say hi. Say hi, Tim.
Hi, buddy.
What's going on, little dude?
A future Nova dude.
Yeah, just think,
That's right.
in 10 years, kid, you'll be one of us.
That's right.
Peter talking to a bunch of guys you never got to meet in person.
Yeah,
exactly.
But wait, there's more.
But they feel like family.
Got one more.
Hey, man. Another
Hey,
one.
what's up, bud?
We said hi earlier.
He looks ready to drive the car.
Almost.
Yeah, he does.
Well, see, Dave, what you got to do now is you got to cut the fender and you get him to flex it. That way, if he ruins it, he can fix it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
When you're moving metal around, remember, metal is like a liquid. It's really weird. If you think of metal as a liquid, you can move it around. You can hammer a little here and it moves over here. And when you put something under stress like that, I had a problem with my Pro Street truck when I did the rear fenders. They cracked. So then I had to learn to relieve that stress and put some supports in there. And simply by cutting a little stress relief and re-welding it goes a long way. And but metal's liquid. You can move it around. Hammer and dolly, you can move anything where you want it. It's think of this. A lot of cars were hand built.
You know,
Sure,
I mean,
especially back in the earlier days, for sure.
oh yeah, yeah. And I'm not that guy. I did some of that, but I'm definitely not that guy. I'm not that patient.
It is definitely an art.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Novocaine's gonna be something else, Tim. Man, when you get it back home, you need to snap a lot of pictures for us and everything, bro. For real.
No,
Oh, yeah,
black on that car looks good too. They must have blocked the hell out of that car.
Oh yeah.
Black is like the worst. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have any imperfection, it'll definitely show in that black paint.
Not flat black. Flat black hides a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It
Yeah.
black.
You just rattle can over it, you're good to go.
Yeah, 7 cans.
Yeah.
That's right.
The guy who
Sounds like-
painted the car.
Sounds like somebody got some experience.
The guy who painted the car is my high school buddy that we used to cruise together. You know, I was a year older than all of them, and so they would cruise in my car. So it's really neat that he's painting my car. And I mean, he's just one of the best guys I've ever seen. He can see things. I've judged Super Chevy. I that's what I do. Is I'm a nitpicker.
Well, it's too cold outside. We can't go.
10th degree.
It's
Pete
dark.
sees
You
something
can't
I
see.
can't see, and he's used the word perfect on it. I'm like, I've never seen a perfect paint job, so we'll see what that looks like. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Blacks.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, man.
So.
And once you get Novocaine back, I'll be more than happy to take Grasshopper off your hands.
What do you think the Grasshopper is worth, money-wise?
You know,
I do not know what.
Tim, I've been thinking of that since you first showed it to me. Thinking, what could I offer you that would make you even think of it, entertaining the thought?
Yeah.
I don't honestly think you could put a money value to that. That car is almost like a fairy tale. It's too good to be true. But
Yeah,
I would say, well,
Okay, we're unmuted now.
I'd probably say a minimum 40 grand US, 40,000 US.
You can get a pretty penny out of it for sure, no doubt, because it's all original. Yeah, I mean, you got that great look going to it, and
It's low
people-
mileage.
When people see that low mileage original car,
Yeah.
they love it. They love it, man. Like, because you cannot find anything anymore that's unmolested. You know, you're not going to find hardly any car nowadays. Our cars especially that are like when I got the car, it had a crate 350 in it, and that thing was tired and wore out. So that's why I'm like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna put a Jegs 383 in it and call it good. But
Sure.
yeah, since you can't, that originality is what's gonna bring you that money, man.
And Tim, speaking of that car, I'm the same way with my 88 Mustang, where it's one owner car, all original, unmolested Fox body Mustang. And I've been asking a crazy amount of 10 grand for it. And I actually, people say to me, oh, that's actually cheap for a car like that. But really, until somebody brings you that kind of money, you could throw out numbers left and right. But if I ever won a lottery, you and I are going for a dinner to talk about that car.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when it comes back here, it would be painted midnight green and replace this one.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
man,
the thing.
you don't want
I
to keep
keep
the original green on it?
Oh, no, I would have to make it like mine. It's because what it would cost me to do the body work on mine, it would be nice to find one that's absolutely perfect and mint. You're right, Will. I probably would leave it the way it is. I probably wouldn't touch it. But
Okay, so
that was the thing. When I got the Grasshopper, we looked at it and said, damn, this is a car we should have made the Novocaine out of. And I could have left it with them. But we all kept looking at it going, this thing is so weird. I mean, whoever has a car that's only got 5,000 miles on it.
Yeah,
that's
It's
true,
only
man.
it's green. Oh my God, we used to throw these cars away and cut them up and throw them in the junkyard. I mean, you know, green was not popular, especially a bench seat, 6-cylinder. The only option had a power button.
Now they're like the most sought after.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna drive the car. The only thing I've done to it is put the SS grill in it. That's easy. And then because I needed the grill, so you might as well get the SS.
And then I did put a stereo, but it's in the trunk, so you can't see it. And other than that, it's 100% stock.
Yeah, it is a one-of-a-kind gem. You couldn't replace it. If you did sell it, Tim, you'd never be able to replace it.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
I really want to get the Novocaine up and running and drive that. But in the meantime, we can drive the Grasshopper. It's got.
Okay, so are y'all ready to see? Are y'all ready to see something? Both of you are gonna freak out. Okay, you ready?
Show
Here
us.
goes. Can you see it?
It's a fender. What am I looking?
Green.
It's green.
It's a green fender. It's the Grasshopper.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I see it now.
Now, Will, now the next time we have the blue versus green wars, I'm sending you in as a sleeper agent. You're part of Green Slime.
It's both.
I think I am, man.
Oh, I'm so glad you showed me that. Oh man, I'm going at Rex now.
Dude, I knew you were gonna love that.
I'm gonna tell Rex
you.
I got a sleeper agent in his blue crew, blue crew.
Hey, I'll go in the heart of the belly, okay?
Now, while we're all being honest here, I'm gonna move my camera so you guys might get dizzy here.
Please keep your pants on.
Oh yeah. This is,
okay.
what color is that?
Red.
Oh, is that orange?
That's
Ooh,
red.
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 But see, the thing is
Uh-oh.
that was the replacement fender from the accident.
Well, now which accident? When you hit the pedestrian?
No, the pedestrian was the hood, the grill, and push the hood latch into the rad. That was the pedestrian.
Okay.
A year later, I had a lady turn right from the left lane, and I caught her with the corner of the bumper, and it ravaged the bumper, wrecked the fender, and and that's where I had the '74 bumper on my car till 2 years ago.
That pedestrian really did a number to your car, man. I was surprised at how much damage.
He was a pretty big guy.
Hood and yeah,
he was a pretty big guy.
I would
He was
imagine
one of
so.
those guys that wasn't going to survive the ventilator and COVID. You know, they don't work together.
And you know, it's funny because when I sit in the car, I could still picture him when he was in front of my car. It was like that. It was just, whoo. And I hit him, boom, he went up. He rolled about 3/4 of the way up the hood because I wasn't going that fast, and then just flopped off and went through the crosswalk.
Ugh.
And then,
Good thing you didn't get your windshield.
Yeah, and because he was at fault, my insurance went after him for damages to my car.
And that's the reason I can laugh about this. I mean, I feel horrible.
And what really helped me deal with it was after the accident. A few weeks later, I was driving, and the car was still had the smashed, and we couldn't open the hood. You had to use a screwdriver to get the hood open. And I had a police officer pull me over, and he was one of the investigators of the accident. He told me that the guy spent 11 days in the hospital with just internal bleeding. The fact that he was so drunk is what saved his life. He was so limber. So that's how I'm able to deal with it and laugh at it now. But had he died or been badly injured, I wouldn't be able to joke like this.
Well, it was certainly he was at fault then because he was impaired and blah 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 and all that.
Well, really,
so there was no chance of you getting.
Really, he needs to thank his wife because she was the one that I saw running across the street when I hit the brakes and hit him.
You're checking out and it saved his life.
Yeah, she made it across. He didn't.
Speaking of accidents, I'm gonna. Did you enable the share screen on this?
If I didn't, you can tell me. I think so. It's green.
All right, let me show you some pictures of my dad's Nova that he had. If I can get into it, you guys seeing this?
We are viewing Dave's screen. Here we go.
And so this happened back in like 94,
yes.
95.
Dang.
He was driving to work, and
whoa!
a semi took him out.
Wow.
Dave, when I saw this, I actually stopped breathing. I actually stopped breathing when I saw this.
Oh my!
The only reason he's alive is because he took this car to work that day. So the damage on the front end there is actually from a saguaro cactus when he spun out in the desert.
And hit the cactus, huh?
This
Wow.
is where the semi went over the back of the vehicle right there and just crushed it. I mean, there wasn't anything
Oh
left
my
of that
gosh,
car.
that is incredibly. Oh my Lord, look at that.
Yep.
Your dad is
So-
blessed. Wow.
He's
It looks
in
like the
his
marker
60s
light is
now.
still good. You can still part it out.
Bro.
Yeah, right. But
That-
this
yeah.
thing was
Oh my gosh.
That's
turned the
incredible.
semi over on its side too. It was hauling all that sand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what happens when a
Wow,
drunk guy
man.
passes a semi on a curve.
Jeez, that's no bueno.
yeah.
There's me right there. You can see me in the background when I was like
Freak.
13.
You can't even tell what the car looks like, what kind of car it is.
Yeah.
Sure you can. You can tell by the kind of bumper it is.
Yeah, I can tell by the
Yeah.
bump.
A little bit.
Roof line.
The side
You know-
markers give it away, right?
Yeah. That's
know,
incredible.
Gosh.
The
But
good
yeah,
Lord
that
was
was,
looking after your dad that day.
Yeah,
Yeah. He had somebody
When,
looking out after him for sure.
when the cops showed up, or the paramedics anyways, he was walking around in the desert with the keys in his hand, and the fire company from the place he worked at, they had their own fire unit there, and they were the first one to respond, and they're all like, Paul, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know. I don't even know where I am or what day it is. And
I was in
Yeah.
shock.
Got a little bump on his head there, didn't he?
Yeah.
so, my grandma actually owned that car when we were little kids, and
Wow.
the cops ended up taking her license away because she was hitting mailboxes and trash cans and stuff like that, running into curbs. So she sold it to my dad for $500, and he had it for a few years, and then that happened to
Oh,
it. So
man.
You know, it was actually after my accident in 97. Like before then, I wanted to keep my Nova all stock, all original. And it was after my accident in 97 that I realized if I got the car back and we were able to fix it, I'm going to do what I want to. And that's what we have today. Drive for today and enjoy it.
So what are you thinking here, David, as far as our video and everything goes? Original Hood. What are you thinking as far as that goes? Do you think we're doing pretty decent, or and timeline? Like what do you guys think about like time frame on the video and stuff?
Well, you know, I like the way you walked around. It was a good video, but I'm wondering if we shouldn't have users do the videos and then submit it, and then I can edit it accordingly, and then we put it up on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Maybe that might be better.
We can do that too. I mean, either however we want to do it. I mean, obviously this is like our little test video or whatever.
Mhm.
But you know, I think it'd be something.
I'm actually shocked and disappointed we only have 4 people.
Yeah, I mean, who
we
knows?
had 5, but then Dave logged off.
Oh yeah, I saw that for a brief second.
Yeah, I was all excited. I was like, "Oh, Dave!"
another person.
Yeah, he's teasing us.
I had to get on my phone because the battery was dying, and I'm like, ah, crap.
But I got to admit, Dave, this was a hell of an idea, and I really appreciate you bringing this up because I do think we can work with this.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
it'd be cool if we could get 15, 20 people on here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you do your live streams, there's like at least 20, 30 people chatting with us.
Not all. It's usually 10 to 15 at most.
Yeah, where's all the slackers at tonight? I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Where's Kim and where's everybody else? Come on.
Well, Robert said he was going to make it too.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't figure out the whole Zoom thing. I don't know, but it's pretty user friendly if you ask me.
Oh,
It's easy for me, and
Yeah, I agree.
So
the only thing I find that could be
So
a
is-
problem is with so many people, we always talking over each other. That's where I see more people. It might be a problem where it may be something where somebody's got to put up their hand and we have an administrator. I know I'm bad for that.
If you look at the bottom down here, if you click on participants, you can actually, there's a thing where you can digitally or virtually raise your hand and get people's attention that way. So I don't know, maybe
Really?
that's
That's
something.
good. I see that. Yeah, that's nice.
let's see.
Yeah, we'll definitely need a facilitator someone that's kind of running, especially if it gets more people. And then, you know, if there's a question, you can either you can physically raise your hand or hit the little button like Dave just did there.
Yeah.
And then say, oh yeah, what would you like? Do you have a question or whatever?
Oh man, you're making this sound like a government.
Yeah. I second that.
Oh God.
That might be my fault. All the years in the Marine Corps.
No, but you are right, Will. You are right in all seriousness. I think I would still do the streams as well, you know, because the chat, at least with the chat, you know, you don't overlap people in that. Like there may be a way to do both things. And as long as this isolation and pandemic's going on, I'm not going to be playing hockey. So, you know, my Tuesdays are going to be free.
Well, this is a great idea. And if we do it once a month and then you do your streams, you know, like you said, you continue to do those and everything. Or if we end up, people like doing it, we do it, you know, every other week or however it works out, you know, that'll work out. We'll just kind of roll with it and whatever way it works out the best. Crystal was saying, my wife was saying that you can take and download or copy the link, put it on the post, and then they can go back and watch it. But I don't know how many people watch TV all the time. So if we keep it interesting enough, you know, people will want to sit there and keep watching it and stuff like that. It's like, you know, when other people were talking, I was kind of showing the car and doing different views of the car and stuff like that. So that way, you know, people can keep an eye on this and also listen to what they're doing, listen to what other people say and stuff like that.
Will, I'm going to try this feature here, making you the host because I got to run, but I don't want to kill the evening.
Okay.
So
I was going to say, I'm about to sign off because I got to go to bed.
If you guys want to call it, I mean, we're hitting almost 2 hours.
Yeah. Hey, how about that?
Dang.
Okay.
We've had a good time tonight.
Oh, this was awesome. It's just too bad more people didn't join us.
Hey,
yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun and talking cars.
Yeah.
I mean, last time Tim and I talked on the phone, I think we were on the phone for close to 2 hours too.
Oh yeah. Yep. Like-minded people.
We'll call it here. Unless you guys have anything else y'all want to chat about. David, it's up to you if you want to post this up. It's fine with me. I don't care. And then we can have it for.
If you two guys, if Tim and Dave are good with it, sure.
Should be okay with it. But yeah, it sounded great, man. It was fun. I enjoyed it for sure, and I appreciate you guys doing it with me and all.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad I caught it. That was the only thing. I just happened to catch it. I just happened to log it real quick and like, hey, what's this?
That's cool. Cool. And all right, gentlemen.
Things over.
Yeah, all right.
Good night, folks.
Yeah, y'all have a great evening, and we'll catch you on the next site, video, chat, post, whatever.
Excellent. All right, take care, guys.
That's good.
Sometime tomorrow,
take care.
You'll see the Novocaine.
Yeah, get some pictures.
Hey, make sure and post it. Yeah. A lot of pictures.
Okay, later, guys.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good night.